What is up, everybody? Yo, what's up? Thank you for being here. Page 399 is where we're going to launch the next lesson. And so if you will, go ahead and have a highlighter ready and something to write with, and maybe even like a straight edge, something that you can actually use to help create shapes. We are going to draw quadrilaterals in this picture. And of course, you know, maybe multiple colors of highlighters just to help you add color and dynamic movement to your drawing. Your notes, they're a gateway for your brain to be processing. And so the better you are at helping your brain get in a good mood with like studying and with like learning it, the deeper your understandings will be and the better you will grow along the way. Have your highlighter. Let's go and highlight some key things. Let's highlight the key terms on this side. So we are going to talk about parallelogram / congruent parallel side theorem. We're going to talk about the base angles of a trapezoid. And then we're going to talk about the trapezoid mid-segment theorem. There's this interesting thing that happens when you draw mid-segments inside quadrilaterals. It kind of creates a shape that you're like, does that happen all the time? Weird. Okay, we are in properties of quadrilaterals, and one of our learning goals is to prove the properties of a parallelogram, a rhombus, a rectangle, a square, a trapezoid, and a kite. And there are differing agreements around, or disagreements about what a kite truly is or what a trapezoid truly is. We're also going to solve problems using the properties of parallelograms, rhombuses, rectangles, squares, kites, trapezoids, etc., all of those things. Do you have a straight edge? Because when we do the review right now, you're going to need a straight edge in order to follow along. So I think I'm going to move this down here. And then I'm going to click on this, and we're going to zoom in a little bit. Yes, yes, indeed. Okay, let's do it. Let's draw some quadrilaterals. Again, quadra means four. So a quadra, and then if you think football terms, a lateral pass is a pass to the side or behind. So lateral is a word to convey side, which means we have a four-sided shape. Quadrilateral, four-sided shape. Triangles do the same thing if you think about it. Triangle, it's right there in the name. Three sides, three angles. We want to draw a quadrilateral with the given property, and we're not going to draw the same quadrilateral twice, but there are multiple options. Let's get it right out of the way right now. All of these, you could draw a square. I'm not going to draw a square for my examples because that's easy sauce. That doesn't have to happen that way at all. Let's think of some other quadrilateral shapes. There are, reading off of the list, we could draw parallelograms, we could draw rhombuses, we could draw rectangles, we could draw squares, we could draw trapezoids. Again, I'm not going to draw a square because that's like, a square answers everything. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle though for the first one. Congruent angles. The only four-sided shape where all of the angles are the same, all four of them are rectangles and squares, but they're rectangles because the angles are 90 degrees. So specifically, use your straight edge, draw a rectangle. Draw a rectangle. Okay, do your best to sketch it so that your angles are 90 and it actually is a rectangle. Okay. Now a square would also work because the angles in a square are 90. However, for us with a rectangle, that really, I guess, is the reason why a square is a subset of rectangles, because squares and rectangles both have 90-degree angles, but squares have extra conditions applied to them. Let's go to the second one. Let's go to congruent diagonals. Now, a diagonal is the slant line that goes from opposite corner to opposite corner. So from here down to here, or the other way around, from here up. So when you trace opposite corners in a diagonal, we want congruent diagonals. I'm going to draw a specially particular type. I'm going to draw what's called an isosceles trapezoid. I'm going to draw it first by sketching a base. I think I'm going to go like, what is that, about 2 inches. Then I'm going to slide up, keep it all in the middle, keep it lined up. It's got to have a second base, and I'm making this one be 1 inch, exactly as best as I can in the middle. And then I'm going to connect, you know, the remaining sides, the other two sides that are here. Okay, so it's not perfect, but pretty doggone close, right? These middles sort of line up. Now to draw my congruent diagonals, again, I'm going to use the red pen for this, but the diagonal that I want to draw is this one. I want to draw from this corner, maybe sketch it with a dotted line. It doesn't deserve to be a solid line because it's a diagonal. It goes through the middle. And then sketch the other diagonal. In this exact arrangement, in an isosceles trapezoid, both of these lines, those are the diagonals, and they're meant to be congruent. And so that is the condition. Now, rectangles also do this, and squares also do this, but I'm not drawing squares, and I already drew a rectangle, so just commenting on it now, those are conditions. The last one, congruent sides. Now, I'm not drawing a square, so you might think, well, a square, all four sides are the same. So you're right, thank you, but I also want to acknowledge that, did you know a diamond, a rhombus shape, I should say, I should make sure that I'm measuring. This is going to look a little funky, a little weird. Okay. That's not too bad. For a review, for a little reminder, try to draw a diamond shape, because in a diamond, in a rhombus, this is a rhombus, the sides are the same length. And so little spike lines around it are actually what we need. So there you go. There you have it. Those are the congruent angles, the congruent diagonals, and then the congruent sides. And we're acknowledging that they are congruent because I've sketched them in a different color. You know, we're going to be talking about some essential ideas along the way in this lesson. You're going to be proving quadrilateral properties. We're going to be acknowledging that squares have all the properties of rectangles and rhombuses. And mid-segments, that's a word for us to remember. A mid-segment is the line that goes from the middle of one side of a thing to the adjacent joining side. And then we're also going to use these quadrilateral properties to solve problems. So thank you for clicking this video. 400, you guys. Page 400 is next. So much math has been learned. You are awesome. Thank you for checking in. See you in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next.